Hola and welcome to the narrative. Today we take a look at the Santa Casa of Ignatius of Loyola, or the family residence of St Ignatius. Now, as you all know, St Ignatius of Loyola is the founding father of the Jesuits. The family residence of St Ignatius, who lived between 1491 to 1556, is next to the basilica and accommodated in the buildings of the sanctuary. On the first level, you can see the loopholes of the 15th century tower, a vestige of the house where the saint once lived, and visitors can see the room where he was born and the room where he spent his convalescence and converted. Now, moving to the heart of the sanctuary, one can say that the sanctuary is built around the tower house of the Loyola family. The building dates from the 14th and 15th centuries and is divided into the lower half built in stone, which recalls its past as a fortress, and the upper half, which is built in brick, that represents its evolution into a palatial house. When we speak about the family home, we see that the house is divided into 4 floors, which contain important places in the life of Inigo. Following the path marked on the plans, we arrive at the chapel of the conversion, where we will learn how Inigo changed his life to devote himself to God. Coming to the ground floor, we see that this was used as a tool store and cellar. Within its walls, which are almost 2 meters thick, we can imagine the medieval past of the family. Between the 13th and 15th centuries, feudal lords called parentes mayores fought over the territory of Guipúzcoa. After the conflict, the tower houses of Guipúzcoa were turned into palaces, and the Loyola family entered into the modern era. In this period of profound changes, Inigo Lopez de Loyola was born. Climbing to the first floor, we see that this floor shows some rooms at the center of day-to-day life in the house, such as the kitchen, where masters and servants would gather around the fire. It was here that old stories about the family's forebears were told, and the traditional values of the Christian faith, fidelity to one's word, loyalty, and sense of humor were handed on. As you come to the second floor, we see that this floor belongs to the part of the house that is rebuilt in brick. It is the main floor, with the master bedroom, oratory, dining room, and the main hall. In the bedroom of the Lady of Loyola, Donna Marina Senes de Licona gave birth in 1491 to Inigo de Loyola, her last son. As we move to the dining room, we see that the dining room, located next to the oratory, was the main living space of the family, along with the main hall, where they received visitors. During his period of convalescence, Inigo read copies of Life of Christ and the Life of Saint, which raised in him an intense desire to follow in the footsteps of Jesus and the desire to go to Jerusalem. Copies of these books are also displayed on the bookshelf in the room. And finally, as we come to the third floor, we see that this floor housed the rooms for children and guests. It was here that Inigo was operated and almost died. Inigo's reading showed a new world to him, how the motions of God affect our lives. Gradually, he fell in love with God until he surrendered himself to him. All this happened between June 1521 and February 1522, and this room is where the chapel of conversion is now. We are now in the heart of the sanctuary of Loyola, and the chapel of conversion is a place which is visited by many. So that's it for this episode of The Narrative. So, do like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And yes, if you have any comments or any question, do drop them in the comment section.